or just identity help, trying to figure out who you are and what you should be doing, you need to holler at your girl. Now, you know we are here on Intellectual Radio, and we are going to have a phenomenal show tonight.
Yes.
Now, this is Soulful Stimulation. I'm normally behind the scenes, but tonight I'm in front of the mic. So I hope you are ready for some stimming conversation. Call your friends, call your mom and them, and tell them to tune in to IntellectualRadio.com, where we are streaming live 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, with over 50 intellectual radio shows. Now, here on IntellectualRadio.com, we maintain to feed your brain. So go ahead, tell someone to come on in, share it on YouTube, go directly to the site. But today's topic, it's a little risky, y'all.
Yeah.
Ooh, yes. Yes.
It's a little risky. We're going to talk about it.
You got to talk about it.
We're going to talk about it. And it's something you may be a little uncomfortable hearing this conversation, but I want you to embrace it. So, rejection, abandonment, fear, abuse and self-doubt, self-sabotage, and depression.
Yeah.
Chances are you've experienced one of these. Feelings of neglect, distress, emptiness, or even an unbearable pain. It'll have you second guessing why you're here, if you should remain here, and if you do, what is even going to come on the days ahead. Now, I know this might sound harsh, but suicidal thoughts and behaviors, they're a real thing.
They're real.
Yeah, they're real.
They're extremely common, especially in the age groups of 10 to 24, and then 26 to 55. Now, this month, I don't know if you know this or not, except it's Suicide Awareness and Prevention Month. And I know it's not a sexy topic, but it's something that's plaguing our community. So it's plaguing our community, especially if you're going through uncertainty or transition. At some point in your life, it's probably even crossed your mind. Whether it was a fleeting thought or one that you acted on or attempted, suicidal thoughts and behaviors are real. And at times, you might be triggered by something, or it might come out the blue. You may not even realize why you're having these thoughts. So my question is, how can you overcome the chatter and turn your pain and uncertainty into purpose and fulfillment? So for those of you just tuning in, I have some very special guests. My guests today are Della Major. She's also known as the Game Changer.
Game changer.
Now, Della is the founder and CEO of a nonprofit organization called LIVE. And LIVE stands for Living Your Life Victorious and Empowered. As a end-stage renal disease patient since November 2011, Della is intimately aware of the challenges faced by those who live with chronic illness. Rather than focus on the negative, Della's enthusiasm resuscitates and refreshes her audiences so they want to live and thrive. Della is a certified kidney coach for the American Kidney Foundation. And if you know her, you know she's an unforgettable presenter who motivates and empowers those living with chronic illness. Now, our second guest is Sabrina L. Williams. She is the executive director of Change Children and Youth Ministries, known as CYM, which is based in the city of Chicago. Sabrina has been working in children's ministries for over 20 years, and her mission is to not only share the message of Jesus with children and youth, but to expose, provide, and love young people so they can reach their purpose. Sabrina is blessed to be married to Larry Williams Sr. and is the mother of two amazing young men. Now, ladies, I know this topic is heavy.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes we overlook suicide and suicidal thoughts as if it doesn't occur in our community. Now, I, for one, I've thought about it. I've attempted it. But by the grace of God, he saw and said something different. And so I just want to kind of get your thoughts on it and maybe how suicide has impacted your life or come about in any particular area that you've been in. Della?
Well, that is a personal subject matter for me because not only do I know about it, I've experienced it. I was around about 15, 16 years old is when I attempted suicide. And this is something that I share in my story. And you are living, you really watching, looking at a living, walking testimony
Mm-hmm.
on how the power of God and how He can change you when you know you have destiny and purpose.
Yeah.
There's no reason why I should be walking on the face of this earth. The way and the type of way I tried to take my life. It stems back to this question that I used to say back then. Why am I here if no one loved me?
Mm.
Why am I here if nobody want me? Because you see, I dealt with that abandonment and rejection from my mother and my father.
Okay.
These are the individuals that should be encouraging me, telling me how to live. But instead of doing that, I was belittled. I was shamed. I was told I wasn't going to even be anything.
Mm.
That basically I was going to be on public aid. And just like my mom was, who gave up on us, just to survive. So when you got the ones who should be shaping you, the one who should be encouraging you,
Yeah.
empowering you, teaching you how to be your best self or how to be a champion in this world called life,
Mm-hmm.
they're the ones that's tearing me down. So if they're tearing me down, why do I want to be here if I'm being told down?
Yeah.
And that's what I experienced. And so I know we're going to get a little bit more into this,
Mm-hmm.
but this is not a subject matter that I believe need to be hidden. And this is something that often happens. We hide these things.
Yes.
This is a subject matter that needs to be spoken out loud.
Mhm.
So I'm not coming directly the spiritual, the elder major. I'm coming real from Della major.
That's right.
Because this is the point in time that I need to empower you. I need to tell you that you are welcome, you are loved, you are somebody. God created you beautifully and made you wonderfully, and you are more than just a survivor. You are a thriver.
Come on.
You could thrive in this life. There's nothing too hard that you can't overcome. Because why? You got to snatch back your joy and snatch back those words. You got to fall out in shape with those. Got to fall out in alignment. No longer that you got to say that. So that's something powerful, such an enrichment. What you think about, Pastor Sabrina?
Also, I have experienced that as well. I also tried to commit suicide at a young age, which is why I'm so passionate about children.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes mine was just basically going through stuff and not having the proper tools to handle what was put on me. And so when children don't have those tools, then they don't know how to express themselves. They're fearful to express themselves. And so they can't think of those thoughts. And so negative thoughts was toxic inside of me. I didn't see myself as the way people saw me. And that's because I was portraying myself as a tough girl. I was portraying myself like nothing bothers me. I betrayed myself like you bet not. But all inside, I had low self-esteem. I did not know who I was. My mama had me at 15 years old. So she was basically growing up with me.
Wow.
And so she couldn't empower me with those things. But because I also had an independent attitude, I don't think she knew if I necessarily needed it as much. So I would betray like everything's okay. Everything's good. But when I had so many different things happen to me as a young child, I just did not know how to say it, who to say it to, and where to go. And so it was really like, why am I here?
Mm-hmm. So when you have those hidden secrets and those hidden things inside, how do you actually overcome that?
Yeah.
Right? Because both of you were young when you made the attempt or thought about it. So what tools, what resources, what was even available to say, okay, I'm not going to go through with it, or I went through it and it failed. So now this is my alternative.
Yeah. I went through it and it failed. I took pills because I'm just too scared to
Me
see
too.
blood.
Look, I can't hurt myself. I can't hurt myself. I can't hurt myself.
But this is why I'm passionate about change ministries, because I just feel like in the African American community, there are not enough community centers and stuff that help child deal with the everyday life. Everybody has
Right.
their agenda. Now
Yeah.
we have some great community services projects, but just helping the child from a young age, I think, be able to find self-awareness, discover their purpose, discover who they are is really what we need. And so that's what change ministry is all about. I don't want to just teach you Jesus. When Jesus came on the scene, he first met their natural needs. And so if we can see the children, like in Chicago, they have to have some kind of trauma going on in their life, seeing killing, seeing their loved ones locked up, seeing how the police brutality, those things are trauma. And if we don't have the perfect tools for them to express that self, I think that's all I needed to be able to do in my scenario, is just express that, but then have somebody pour back into me and say, no, I know what you're going through, but this is who you really are. And self-identity, I believe in the African American community, is not expressed enough, is not taught enough, and it's not developed enough in our young people. And if you don't have self-identity, that's how the enemy will attack you in your mind.
That's one of the first ways. And so often it's hidden. And that's why there is such a prevalent identity crisis right now. Because no one knows who they are. So they see these different personas on TV, their stars that they're following. And they say, okay, I see a little bit of that. I got a little bit of that. I got a little bit of that. Okay, so this is who I am. Versus going to the creator who actually created you and identifying who you are.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm going to just keep it 100 because, we say this is real.
This is real. Right? It's real.
I didn't have those factors.
Okay.
Because, like you, I caught myself thinking I was going to cut myself. I couldn't.
Right.
When I saw the little scratch, I'm like, no, I can't get out there.
Right.
So I tried, by taking 5 capsules of 30 each of barbiturates.
Yeah.
All of them with milk.
Oh.
Okay.
So you can imagine.
It's coated.
Yeah, it coated.
Yeah.
And so when I woke up the next day, I thought I was in hell because the same woman that I was trying to get away from
was right there.
Yeah.
So after that experience, I didn't get that, oh my God, things is going to change. All I got was, you better get up and get ready to do your work. I don't care how much what you're trying to do. That. So I'm saying for 28 years of my life, I fought against that demon.
That's a cycle.
That cycle. I fought against, because all I kept hearing was what I was not going to become or what I was not going to be.
Yeah.
So I made it up in my mind. Oh, you said I'm not going to be that? So I decided to take the route of putting myself in harm's way because of the fact I just wanted any type of attention, any type of affection to come from anybody.
Yeah.
So I call myself joining the game.
Okay.
That's me being a Latin queen. I don't know no Spanish, but
you're a Latin queen.
Wrong one.
That's
Wrong.
Latin. So I went through the process.
That's the identity you was trying to pick up.
But at that time, they were the ones that was accepting me.
Yeah.
They was the one that was like, come on. And my name was not Della. It was Adela at that time.
Adela, okay.
And I had position status. And then I got the name of Heavy D.
Right.
Okay.
And Heavy D was not because I was fat. That's how hard I was rolling. I was rolling hard in the paint.
I'm a G. I got
I'm
this.
a G,
Step to me if you want to.
It is. And so when I attempted, when I was, doing those things, I started realizing all of the hardness was not giving me no fulfillment.
Yeah.
So then I called myself, was trying to be out late at night doing all this other crazy stuff until I got arrested.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a juvenile.
Yeah.
Got arrested, and thrown up in jail on 23rd and Damon. Yeah, I put all my business out on the street. So, hey,
transparency.
Transparency. This is to break down the walls of the lies of the enemy.
Yeah. Right.
Okay?
Right.
So, I got in jail, 23rd and Damon.
Mm-hmm.
But at that time, that's when the ladies of the nights,
Okay.
They were
trying
in
to
there.
tell me, how to survive in these streets.
Right.
So they showed me many things. You'll show a person who sit down and have no identity. I said, oh, they did it. I'm going to do it too.
Yeah.
So what did I do? I called myself getting out of jail because I'm a juvenile, try to do what they told me to do, still putting myself in harm's way.
Yeah.
It took one person. I always was smart.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that, when I went to school, that was the only thing that nobody could take away from me.
Yeah.
They can't take those A's away from me. They couldn't take those the accolades that I received when I attended Western House Vocational. I was recognized as the top woman scholar.
Yeah.
And so that gave me a sense of identity.
Mm-hmm.
But it was one person, you guys.
Oh.
Who was that?
My high school counselor. His name is Mr. Patterson. Mr. Patterson said, Miss Simmons, come to my office. He said, why you keep asking me? I'm like, what you talking hi, Mr. Patterson. And then he said, why I keep asking? Because at that time, my grammar was not ask.
Right.
It was ask.
You cutting them
I
off.
was
You're cutting them off.
right? So he taught me about my diction. He taught me about, the grammar. But then he said something to me. He said, you are a game changer. You're an atmosphere changer.
Yeah.
That was the first time I ever heard it.
Yeah.
And he told me, I'm going to come to a crossroad. And then that crossroad is when I'm going to need to make that decision.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what I like about what you said, because for me as well, me acting rough, me acting out, me being out late, me smoking weed. Like I was smoking weed at 12, 13, maybe. I started smoking cigarettes at probably 10. And that's why I'm really not into all that now. But doing that, it was like I was putting on somebody I wanted them to see. But the problem with that is it took me years to take off each layer of that and say, who am I really? Who am I really? And so it's hard because in the African American homes, we're always trying to just get by, get up, stay woke, get through whatever going on. And then we don't talk about, we're not welcoming to talk about getting help.
That's it.
Yeah.
We're not welcoming to talking about you need to see somebody. Like my mama would be like, girl, get over it. Let's move on. We got to get to it. And it's not really getting down, diving deep. What was wrong with you? And so you having that counselor was good, but I ain't had nobody like that. Nobody was telling me, get it together.
How did you overcome then? Because if you didn't have the person to direct you, like Della had that one encounter, right? That we could say that was a defining moment, or your first defining moment.
Yeah.
What was your first defining moment to say, okay, these actions or these thoughts that I'm participating in, is not going to cut it for me?
Yeah. I think God deposited in me before I even knew him the love of children. And I wanted to have 10 kids. 10 whole kids, baby. Now I'm minister to many of them, but I wanted to birth 10 kids. After 2, it was like, this your body not worthy. But the love of wanting to be a mother made me say, you can't keep living this lifestyle. Now, it didn't help me find my identity.
Right.
But it did help me say you couldn't find this lifestyle. So God whispered into me to get into church.
That's good.
Get into church. And I found who I was in God. And so that helped me start developing who I needed to be as a woman. And I think that is what really saved me. And I think that was just Holy Spirit personally talking to me instead of using a person. Because nobody could have told me. I was that
you were gone,
traumatized from people. Like people hurt me in my family. People hurt me who I trust. So no one person God knew was not going to come and be able to talk to me. I'm like, what you want? What you need? I had people witness to me about church. Jesus, what? He died where? I seen Johnny die last week on the street. What's the difference? And so you don't have a relationship, you don't reverence it. Right. And so Holy Spirit really had to talk to me. And I thought I was high. I woke up one morning, he was like, go to church. And I was like, I'm going to church today. And I fell asleep. I said, I was high. Jesus didn't tell me to go to church. Yeah. And so he kept telling me that until I found the church that I was in. And so that kind of helped develop me as a person. And didn't take away my strong alpha woman that I am, but did help me love the person that I am and be able to heal. And I think that's why people don't commit suicide, because they don't really heal. Mentally, it's playing over in their head again. And so
that memory recall.
That
enemy like to bring up.
It's the unearthing that you go through, right? When you go through trauma, when you go through trials, it's like when you pulling back a scab. And every time you pull back that scab, you're revisiting that hurt and that pain. And so it's like, how can you prevail when you have that scab? But the great thing about it, when we find our identity, when we find our purpose, that's when the scars no longer matter. The scars become your testimony. The scars become your building block where you can say, you know what, I've been down that road. I've gone through that, and this is how you overcome. And I think that's just so pivotal. And I kind of want you to go back, Della, and speak more about that defining moment, because that wasn't your only defining moment that you went through.
At that time, by my house, it was my aunt tried to raise me as a Jehovah's Witness. And that was my first exposure to going to any form of what I would call as a religious church. And all I just knew, I read what they told us to read. And there was this one moment where we had the opportunity to come up and do these skits. And I just loved doing skits. Why? Because it was drawing attention to me. And that's something that I didn't get. And then it happened to be the neighbor next door, who eventually wound up being my cousin because of relations situation. She took me to this one church called One Way Missionary Baptist Church. Yes,
One way in, one way out.
And when I went to that Baptist church, it was so totally different than the Jehovah's Witness, because why? I had people tearing up pews. I had the pastor walking on the pew, shouting. I was like, oh, I like this. But then what was mostly interesting was the fact that they was downstairs cooking. I smelled chicken. So I got a good meal every day. You know what I'm saying? But the defining moment came is when I was doing things wrong with the pastor's daughter.
Yeah.
And I made the decision to leave, because it's like, if I'm out here sinning and doing this in the church with the pastor's daughter, I could do that in the street.
Yeah.
But I was in this moment and at this point, and I was about to put myself in harm's way again.
Yeah.
Remember, I was seeking. Still seeking. Yeah. But it's just something. At that time, I had both of my daughters, both of them out of wedlock. I grabbed the doorknob, and it was at that moment, I'm telling you, I fell down to the floor.
Yeah.
People can't tell you that God don't talk.
Yeah.
Because if you just open up, and at that time, I didn't want to go.
Yeah.
And I heard that still small voice, and it says, try me and I will give you rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it instructed me to get up, go to my bed, take my comforter, and wrap it around me. And I heard him say, from this day forth, you will no longer go out and you will no longer leave.
Yeah.
And I woke up the next day with the biggest peace.
Yeah.
But that same voice came back and told me to take the Bible. I had a little small Bible that was sitting on my credenza. When I say it was dusty, I mean really dusty. Literally, just like that. When I wiped it off and I opened it up, it fell on Psalms 23.
Yeah.
And it said that the Lord is my shepherd and I shall not want.
Yeah.
And that inner peace in me is when it began to form. I knew something was different.
Yeah.
You know, and that change is what made me bring about a change.
Yeah.
Even my children began to change.
Yeah.
So once God started working on me, was this a overnight sensation that I was just like that? No.
Mm-hmm.
But it put a hunger and a desire to do something different.
Yeah.
You know, Marky, I wrote a little point that, not a real point, but something that I thought when we was talking about this topic that God gave me to read.
Yeah.
I don't know if you mind if I could read it.
No, go right ahead.
Okay. And this I just wrote on September 16th, which is like last Thursday. And it says, yesterday, I saw the little girl inside of me. I saw the teenager that I wanted to be. I saw the woman that I came to be. And I said, the pain that haunted me.
Yeah.
For years, I desired to be loved. I wanted the joy I saw others have, but not me. For years, I struggled with finding my true identity. I wanted to be unapologetically me, but I did not, for I became you. That you was the ideas and the words that other people said what I was going to be. That you was my mother's words who shaped my world and the words she spoken that I eventually had become. I was broken. I was bitter. I hated my life. And yes, I began to believe those words. They say I was nobody. So what is my why? I was determined to die. So I attempted suicide and I failed. Why? Because God had plans for me. He wanted me to know that I was loved, that I was somebody, and he had chosen me. Through his words is when I learned that I was beautifully and wonderfully made.
Nice.
Yeah.
So no longer was I that girl that I thought everybody else's, their words did not shape me.
Yeah.
I fell out of love. I fell out of associated with those words. And I began to put God's word on me. And his word told me that I'm more than a conqueror.
I know that's
his
right.
word told me that I could be more than that. His word told me that greater is he is in me. But ultimately, he told me that even when my mother and my father abandoned me,
He would.
he would not. He would be right there with me. So when I think about those transforming moments, that's when I said, if God can do it for me, he can do it for somebody else.
Yeah.
And I had to sit here and tell somebody else, who was on the west side of Chicago,
Yeah.
a person that think that they can't get out of this
Yeah.
situation, someone who believed that that's their life and that's how it got to be.
Yeah.
No, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if God can do it for the girl who he pulled out the street, like me, surely he could do it for you. And that's what we need right now is more people being authentically them
and
telling people
transparency
and being transparent to let them know you can make it.
Yeah.
Your situation don't dictate your outcome. You're better than that.
Yeah.
That's it right there.
Yeah.
Girl,
So
don't get me
it's
started.
letting people know that they're better than that, and that even if they are facing some of the warning signs or some of the risk factors, that they can overcome it.
Yes.
So I want our audience to know, those that are listening on IntellectualRadio.com, that you can overcome. It doesn't matter what your risk factors are. It doesn't matter if you're facing depression, anxiety, mental health disorders, chronic pain, if you attempted suicide in the past, or if a family member has done it. You too can overcome. We have two powerful testimonies going on right now, letting you know that there's purpose in your pain. You overcome, but you have to surround yourself with a community.
Yeah.
And so IntellectualRadio.com, I know y'all are listening. So if that's you, know that you are not alone.
Yeah.
Facebook audience, know that you are not alone.
Yeah.
YouTube, know that you are not alone. So if you considered suicide, or you talked about it, or you wanted to do it, you know, you might have the gun, you might have the pills, you might have, you know, the knife, whatever it might be, drop it.
Yeah.
Because that pain, it might seem unbearable, but it's only temporary.
It's only temporary.
It's only temporary. So Pastor Sabrina, from a children's point of view, when you're dealing with the youth, how do you coach them out, or how do you identify someone who might need that extra assistance? Like, how do you help pull their identity to where they can live a life, you know, worth living?
Yeah. Well, first I try to just let them know I've been where you at. And I think that helps them, because they see pastor.
Right.
Like, oh no, but no, I'm saying to you, when I was your age, I had these same thoughts. I went through some of these same things. I think that's why God didn't put on me, but grace me to go through everything that I went through as a child, because I've been through a lot of different things that they have been through. And so I say, hey, I've been in this situation. I've been homeless. You know, I've been had domestic violence. I've been molested. I've been, you know, keep going down the list. I had all those kids. And so when I tell them all of that, no, you're seeing me right now. So I'm telling you, if you see me where I'm at now, after I tell you all that, then tomorrow is a better day.
Yeah.
Like, you just got to get to tomorrow, because thing that with my age group is they're not in control of their lives. The adult is in control of their lives. And if the adult has not been delivered, not set free, suffer from disappointment, suffer from self-identity, they are putting that on their child, and probably doing the best that they can do, but not enough to develop them to be have that identity that they need. And so I say, hey, one day you're going to control your life.
Yeah.
So you're trying to take your life before you have ownership of it. You don't have ownership of your life right now. You are, whether it's your grandmother, whether it's the state, whether it's whoever you with, your mother, your father, they are dictating your life. I want you to just live a little longer until you have the ability to dictate it.
That part right there, live a little bit longer. And, and you know, like, looking back now, I always remember my mama saying that. Just live a little longer. live a little longer. You gonna know what I'm talking about. Live a little longer. Your life ain't that bad. Live a little longer. But when you were talking, and I jotted it down, what came to me is someone else's perception can cause your rejection.
It is.
Because it's displaced. So that parent or that guardian or even that sibling is projecting onto you.
That's it.
Their identity issues that cause you to in turn have self-doubt.
Come on.
And now you say, okay, I got to end it all because my brother don't like me.
And that's why I want to deal with the children, because I feel like I got the ability to stop it at the foundation. We're going to cut this generational curse off right now. So if I can just get you to see who you are, then you won't repeat the cycle. It'll stop with you, and you'll be able to develop and grow. And I want to go back to what Della said, because I don't want anybody to miss that she was in church. So just because you're in church, just because you're in ministry, just because you're leading ministry, does not mean that those people are so in heaven open
Come
arm
on,
doors
Pastor
that they
Sabrina.
don't
Yep.
have low self-esteem,
Come
that they
on.
don't deal with depression, they don't have
Mhm.
identity crisis.
That's
Those
it.
gifts are from God
Yeah.
working in an imperfect body. And so they still have to have that moment with themselves. So we need to check
Yes.
in on our spiritual leaders. We need to check and see how
Yes.
they're doing.
Mhm.
You know, they're doing the interceding for you.
Yes.
But who's
Who's
interceding
interceding
for
for
them?
them? That's
And so we
it.
have to make sure we do that. So just because someone, you see the glory of God on them,
Smiling on their face. just
Right.
out there doing
does
work. I
not
doing
mean
great
they
work
have
in
those
the
thoughts.
ministry.
And so I would like to encourage
Yeah.
the leaders
Yes.
who are interceding for others, who are
Hallelujah,
going
God.
home, though, still don't know who they
They
are
are.
in
That's it.
God.
That's
Mhm.
it.
Or they
Mhm.
know the word, but it hasn't sunk
Something
in where they got
yeah.
it. Then go get help. Let me tell you something.
Therapy.
If you need
Therapy.
Therapy.
Therapy,
Come on.
people. Please.
please go get
Go
it.
get
Some therapy.
Go get you. I'm telling you, it is the best. I think I probably will be in therapy all my life.
Yeah.
Literally. I just got so many layers. I'm not telling you. And when I
Yeah.
talk to my therapist,
Yes.
it helps me talk out that situation
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the devil is persistent.
Persistent.
He you delivered, like you know who you
Let me
are.
bring you to you.
No, you don't.
You've been doing good. Well,
Okay,
remember
let me
this
bring you
happened.
to you. It is.
Right. And then
Psych.
you dealing with that.
It
Or
is.
somebody triggers you and you didn't know
Here we
that
go,
that
those
thing
triggers.
triggers
Yep,
you.
that trigger.
And you be like, why am I feeling
Where
like
did that
this?
come
it.
from?
Why do I feel so
That's it.
low?
Yeah.
And you go so far down.
That's
and
it.
when you have this persona,
Yeah.
because that's what I had when I was in high school. Oh, nobody gonna know that I don't feel like this.
That's it.
And now I'm in ministry. Oh, nobody
it.
gonna know how I'm feeling like this. When you develop that persona, you can't be so busy trying to keep up with that persona. No, be you.
cannot.
Be you.
Be you.
It'll
Be
kill you.
authentically
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
The real you.
It
Yeah.
will kill when you try to keep up with a persona that's not you.
That's it.
Yeah.
You take it on somebody else's identity.
Yes.
That will kill you.
Yes.
And it will kill you slowly.
Yeah.
You
But
know it.
surely.
Yeah.
So it's really true that you have to come into who you are meant to be. But at the same time, like you said, get the help
Yeah.
Yes.
that you need.
Yeah. Get it.
Talk to someone. And
Yes.
and whether it's a counselor, a therapist,
Yeah.
a hotline, you can call in
Anonymously.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
but get the help because
Yeah.
the resources
The help.
are there.
Yeah.
You know what? That was the best of my, because I've been in therapy twice.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm even contemplating going back again because,
Yeah.
I just need reality. The very first time I went,
Yeah.
the first thing the woman said, you know what? You okay. Ain't
Yeah.
nothing wrong with you.
Mm.
Yeah.
Literally, that's
But that
what
was
she
just the surface
said.
level.
That's what she said. She said,
Yeah.
you okay? Ain't nothing wrong with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Because I thought, oh, you done went through?
And you still
You
here?
And you
still
still
here?
here?
Right.
But I'm coming
can-
to you because this might be the straw that
Yeah.
breaks my
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
And see, that's what I left out because she really didn't. She said nothing wrong with you.
Yeah.
You okay? That's what I realized. This is what I'm about to say about
Yeah.
therapists. I had the wrong one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. You
I
need
had
somebody
the
who
wrong one.
wants to clean up the residue. Because
Yes.
see, the fire might not be burning.
Yes.
I know who I am. I know I walk in
Yes.
authority. I know in power, but I got residue
Yes.
Residue.
from what happened to me.
That's it.
And so now I need somebody to help me clean up the residue. People don't like to clean up the residue because
Yeah.
it takes a long
Takes
time.
some time.
It's dirty. Some of it get on them.
It's like the soap scum
Yeah.
when
Come
you
on.
clean out your
Yeah,
bathroom.
yeah, exactly.
You gotta
Y-
scrub
yeah.
it
That's it.
to
Yeah.
get it out.
And see, Markia, the second one I had, I knew that was God sent.
Yeah.
Because
Mhm.
she didn't exactly like, not only did she clean the residue, she went down into those closets that I tried to have from God that
Yeah.
I didn't want him to dig deep
Yeah.
in.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She went down to the closet that was God
Yeah.
not going to allow me to make any more excuses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She went down dirty deep
Yeah.
up in there to really expose me
Yeah.
Mhm.
out of that.
Yeah.
Because I was walking around here saying sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost fire,
Yeah.
serving on the Lord. People know I'm passionate about education,
Yeah.
teaching others.
Yeah.
But then when I get home,
Yeah.
I don't mind playground for the devil.
Yeah.
I'm contemplating going back
Back
and
and
forth.
forth.
Yeah.
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 With the word.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
With the word. You hear me say?
Yeah, with the word.
The word.
Yeah.
And that's what Pastor Sabrina was just speaking to, is that we have leaders, we have those serving, we
Yeah.
have those in the body
Yes.
who are still struggling.
Yeah.
And they're afraid to even come forth because
Yeah.
if I say I'm going through this, that kills my anointing.
Yeah.
But it doesn't though.
No.
Ooh,
It doesn't.
you
Yeah.
saying something right
Yeah.
there. Because she helped me to get over the spirit of shame.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because what was playing, that's what the enemy was trying to do to me. What was playing is, what if somebody find out
Yeah.
that I actually
Yeah.
was like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if somebody really, really, truly know that I was having this is on my heart. What if somebody really, what if they know this about me?
Yeah.
Now they're going to trust my anointing. They're going to trust that I really know the word of God.
They're gonna sit me down.
They gonna sit me
down?
that
Yeah.
part right
Yeah.
there.
I need
Right.
to- I mean,
That part.
that
Yeah.
shame and that guilt
Yeah.
was so powerful.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then my counselor, she's like, so what?
Yeah.
That's on them. That's not on
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She helped me to see
Yeah.
that God can use anybody.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And he could deliver them from anything.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And from any sin.
Yeah.
She helped me to receive the deliverance
Yeah.
that
you
I needed so that my passage would be open to do great and wonderful work outside of the church. Because see, I wasn't called just to be in the church to be a pew member. I was
Right.
called to be a do member. And a do member, he told me to go back and snatch him out.
Yeah.
So I was up in Cabrini,
Yep.
I'm in the Wild Wild,
Snatch him
in
out.
K-Town
Yeah.
Square, all up in the dirty.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
I was.
because you still
And
heavy
I
deep.
still
Yeah,
heavy
indeed,
deep.
You
right.
still
But I
heavy
had a
deep.
different voice. And
Yeah.
do you know what was so interesting
What?
about this? Is that the people who know you,
Mhm.
they see the change. You
Yeah.
don't have to say, "Oh, I found Jesus."
Yeah.
It's like something about you
Yeah.
is different,
Yeah.
and I want to get to know.
Yeah.
A little bit of that.
There
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that oftentimes what I don't like is that people wait until they get their testimony to tell what they're going through.
Yeah.
And you might not get to your testimony because
That's
the enemy is trying to take you out.
That's
So you
it.
got to tell somebody right then and there what you're going through, believing that God is going to deliver you from it,
Yeah.
but acknowledging what's going on
What's
with
it?
you and being able to share that so that you can get the proper
Come
help.
on.
And I think we as believers have to stop making people feel guilty
Yes.
that they're
Mhm.
going through. Your faith is weak, or it
Yeah.
has
Right.
nothing
It
to
has
do
to
with
do
that.
with that.
Nothing to do with that. And
No,
so
not at all.
we have to make sure that we are
That's
just
good, Pastor
supporting
Sabrina.
each other.
Yeah.
So while I'm going through it,
Yes.
you can hold me up, and then I
It
won't
is.
feel alone because it's in the midnight hour
Yes.
In the
when
midnight
you
hour.
alone that the enemy will talk
Will
to
play
you.
with you.
And you
Play
don't
with your
have
mind.
anybody to talk to,
Do
and he
not
got
understand.
you right there.
Cornered.
Yes.
And so you got to be able to
Seeking who
have,
is
if you
about,
don't have
man.
the strength
That's
to
it.
say the word over yourself,
That's
you
it.
got to have somebody you
That's
can
it.
call and say, I just need
I
you
need-
to speak the word over
Speak
me.
the
Yep.
word. That's it.
That's it.
Speak
Right.
that's
It over.
Right.
That's it. I need a little help. I need a little help.
And
Right.
that
That's it.
that within
Yeah.
itself
Yes.
is a sign of strength.
Yes.
When we seek the help,
Yeah.
whether
it.
you say, like you said, whether you can say it or not,
Yeah.
but
That's
if you,
it.
it's like the lady, I just need to touch the hem.
Right.
I just need to
Yeah.
touch the hem.
Yeah, what she
And
said.
so it's just like, just give me that
Come on.
little bit of
Yeah.
hope,
Come
that
on.
Yeah.
little bit of light.
That's
Yeah.
it.
And that's the game
That's all
changer
it is.
right there.
Yeah.
What you say?
That's the
game
game changer right there.
Game changer.
Yeah.
That's what my purpose is.
Yeah.
I know I was told to go out and snatch them out. I was told to change the trajectory,
Yeah.
the atmosphere, where the enemy try to tell you no.
Yeah.
I'm here to empower you to tell you
Yeah.
with God's will, it's a yes. You can make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Yeah.
If he did it for this girl here, he can do it for you. And it's just not only to females, it's to our brothers
Yeah,
out
for
there.
sure.
Yeah.
They even have it even more
It's
because they're told
worse.
that men should not cry. Men can't show
Yep.
weakness.
Yeah.
Men gotta always be strong.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah.
They need that support and
Yeah.
they need that acknowledgement and that encouragement, just like females.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And speaking of females, because my first relationship was very domestic, I think I didn't really start dating until I got in like my senior year, and someone set me up with a guy, and I thought he was like 18 or 19, just out of high school, and I was 17. I could have found out he was 26. And in my
Ooh.
mind, I was not mature enough
No,
in the
you wasn't ready
head
for
to
that.
handle what he was throwing at me.
Yeah.
And I was like, had low self-esteem, and
Mhm.
I was checking myself to like, well, every time I'm looking at somebody, so I'm walking down the street with my head down, like
Yeah.
I'm not looking at nobody. And it was just, I had no reference at home, even though my mom was telling me, but by that time that relationship was crazy. So it's
Yeah.
like, I ain't listening to you. I want to be free. And those things right there, the guilt of that, you can be free from that, but the guilt of,
Mhm.
I let somebody do that to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I let somebody beat me up.
Yeah.
For real. I let somebody hit me up
Because I was stronger than that. I
Yeah.
thought I was stronger than that.
I'm one of them rough riders.
Yeah.
But I let that happen to me, or I let myself get molested, or why didn't I say anything?
Yeah.
Why did I let that happen to me? And those things, even if you feel like you're set free, is the things that can
Yeah.
hold you back
They
and
can
make
hold
you
you back.
commit suicide.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
so it's like, I'm not worthy.
Wow.
Yep.
Why am I here? It was my fault.
It's
So you
the
have to
burdens.
Wow.
talk those things out.
That's
Yeah.
good.
And so I
Pastor
think one
Sabrina.
of the things that helps me in ministry is I don't care if you know my business.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you.
That's the part right there.
That's the part. That's
Right.
the part because
That's it.
who better can tell it than you?
Right.
Like if somebody's gonna tell my
Hey.
story and what
I'm
I done
gonna
been
tell
through,
you.
I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna tell you all the details
Right.
because I lived
I'm not
it.
ashamed of the
Yes.
gospel. I'm
I
telling the
lived
truth.
it.
Right. And so that's my testimony to
Yeah.
these young ladies
That's
or
it.
these young men. Like, wait, what?
Come on.
Yeah.
You what? And so
Mm-mm.
they can see what it looks like on the other side. That's what
We have a
want them to do.
caller.
Oh, we got a
Oh,
caller.
we got a
caller.
caller. All right, caller.
You got a caller because you the best radio.
Hey, Miss Chevelle.
Chevelle.
I got all my beautiful sisters in one room, and I'm excited about it.
Yes.
I just wanted to talk to the game changer who shift the world,
Yes.
who transform lives, who teach the teachable, who raised the dead. Even she raised her own self from the dead. Glory to God. Ramanda. Hey, game changer is in the house.
All right now. You know what?
Now-
It's such an honor to be here, and we want to thank you for this opportunity for allowing me and Pastor Sabrina. I know she'll say for herself to be here just to share our story, but even the more, exactly what you said, to change the game, baby, because that's what it's all about, changing the game.
And what I love about something that you said, because I don't want to interrupt my kids' show because this is her show.
You all good,
Okay.
girl. You all good.
Let me explain something. How I'm changing the game.
Come on.
Soulful Stimulation is just a brand and a name, and everybody who's somebody can come on the show and do what they do.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't ever own anything, so if you got something to say, just take the mic, okay?
All right.
I just want to talk. I want you to go back because I want to say hi to my coffee conversation sister, my Afro queen, my retreat sister, the love of my life. I love you, Sabrina, so much.
I love you. I love you. I love you.
I've never had a time that I came in your presence and you did not honor me, not as only as your sister, but just being a woman of grace and God. I just love you so much.
I love
I
you.
just love you so much. I wanted to talk about something that Della said, and I think I want all of you guys to touch on that. Because people believe that when they come to God, they go from God to the pulpit.
Come on.
Nah, that ain't it.
No,
That ain't
baby.
it.
Mm-mm.
And I think we got leadership all out of order because we're not being teachable. So at this point, it's not about religion and
No.
people want to say, no, this is just truth and it's just religion. But I like when you said, don't be a pew member, but a do member.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is a do member servant? Because you got to serve to get where you
That's it.
to where you're going, to
That's it.
sovereignty. Can you help the people, please?
Oh, that's it. Definitely is a servant. You know, nothing that we can do without the strength and admonition and the really the grace of God. Everything that I do is not because of me. It's not, I thank God that he brought me through these experiences, but I know I can't make the change. I can't do what I do without his strength. This is one of the things I told God, if he bring me out of this situation, I said, whatever you tell me to go, I will go. Whatever you tell me to say, I will say. Whatever you tell me to do, I will do. So every day it says that the steps of the righteous is ordered by the Lord. So I don't do this on my own strength. I do this by God. Wherever he tell me to go, I go. Whatever he tell me to say, I say. So when we talk about changing the game, we have to be able to be sensitive enough to build an environment of trust,
Yeah.
to build an environment that they know that they are loved, to build an environment that they know that if they, with God, all things is possible, that there's nothing that can separate you from his love, but then even more to let them know that they are somebody.
Yeah.
They are worthy. They are valuable.
That
We
part.
need to be able to tell them and show them, help them to see, not us tell them, but help them to see their value.
Yeah.
Because when you help them to see their value, then I'm telling you, that which is inside of them
Yeah.
is going to manifest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it says while you was yet in your mother's womb,
I know you.
God knew you.
Yeah.
So
The
what is
thoughts
being
and
taught
the
and what's in
plans.
there, trust me, baby, it's going to come out. They're going to be able to speak those affirmations and to say, hey, I am beautifully and wonderfully made. Hey, I am more than a conqueror. I am more than just a survivor, baby. Hey, I not only can possess the land, but God told me I can have the land. You know, when you start thinking that you're royal, you're chosen, and we start doing that, I'm telling you, all I got to do is just let them see the light.
Yeah.
That's
Got
it.
the light to
That's
direct
it.
the path.
Yeah.
Let's ask Sabrina, because she's big on conversation.
Yeah.
This is how we move to the next level.
Yeah.
So how does that work with being a doer in our seat, trying to get to a place in the pulpit? How do we have conversations with others and ourselves? Because I remember you told me before, you said, yes, start having conversations with yourself so you can know who you are and then express it to other people.
Yeah. And I think that that's very important, because we have to make sure that God has really helped us transform who we are. Because when we start having conversations with people, I don't want us to start comparing ourselves to people.
That
I'm
part.
never going to be a Chevelle, but I love Chevelle. Chevelle's never going to be me, and she loves me. And so we have to make sure we're having those conversations. We having sisters like me calling Chevelle and say, hey, I'm going through this, and you calling me. Let's have those real, raw conversations, like naked conversations, like this is how I'm feeling today. And we got to make sure that we're surrounding ourselves with people like that. But what I loved about what Della said about also being a doer is when Jesus said, I did not come to be served, I came to serve. And so that's how we know where a person's heart is, if they're serving instead of looking to be served. And so I just think that it's really important to have those conversations. This is why this talk show right here is so important.
It is.
We have to have the space. So we thank Chevelle for the space
Yes,
to have these conversations, because most Christians would say, no, you don't need no therapist. Go to the deliverance line. No, you ain't got enough oil on you. No, you're not fasting enough. No, you need to have faith. But when you got faith-filled, believing women who understands what they've been through and what God has done for them, they're open enough to have a conversation, to pull their sister, to pull their brother and say, look at here, you gonna make it. It's okay. I'm gonna walk this walk with you. If you gotta call me, if I gotta sleep on your couch, wherever it's gonna be, you're going to make it through that. And it starts with a conversation. It starts with the comfortability of feeling like you can have that conversation.
Now, before y'all go, because I know Wanda B, hey, Wanda B, I want to ask your radio host something, because she's always, Della, she into fitness. Come on now, Sabrina, she's always in fitness.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
So how do we stay fit spiritually and in shape naturally to be a doer to where we need to be to go to the next level? Because we think we are okay with our bumps and jumps and all this other stuff, but we're not physically fit, we're not mentally fit, and we're not shaped in Christ to even go to the next level with our raggedy lives, but we want demo position.
Right.
We think we're more worthy.
Yeah.
We think we're more worthy.
Yeah.
Right. So with that, like you said, it's not only just physical, it's spiritual, but from the physical standpoint, we have to get moving.
Yeah.
We can't just be sitting and waiting for things to happen. So that movement is 1 foot in front of the other. That movement is just 5 minutes a day. And that's 5 minutes a day walking in, as well as in the face of God.
Yeah.
So as you're taking every step, let every step be a prayer. Let every step be a conversation. Let every step be, I need to get this right in my life. And I need you to show me who to go to that can help me get the help that I need. Because yes, Lord, you can help me, but I also need someone here on earth that can walk me through this process. So every step that we take, whether it's working out or if it's building our relationship with God, it has to be in unison. And we can't think that we're too good not to. We can't think that we're too anointed to say, okay, I'm all good, and by the grace of God, I'm going to lose this 50 pounds. No, you have to put in the work to get it done, both in the natural and in the spiritual. So we just got to put in the work.
5 more minutes to go. I know y'all got 5 minutes to go, but we have to be fit for one another too.
We have to.
We have to.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
So it's a whole process.
It's a process.
And we can't.
On that, I love you guys so much. Thank you all for coming. Please come back. Please come back.
We'll be back.
We'll be back.
Definitely be back.
We'll be back. Thank you, Chevelle. We love you, girl.
We love you.
Always
My sister.
good.
My
Always
sister.
good to have
Yeah.
Chevelle.
That's what I'm saying.
But she right. We are coming to that little close. I love intellectual radio and what they're doing here. It goes
Good
by
conversation.
fast.
Yeah,
It
good
goes by
conversation.
fast. But before we move on to our little lightning round, because I got a couple little questions for y'all, I want you to drop some little information. But I want to give the people something they can take away.
Yeah.
If you're struggling, you can text. All right. We all can text, right?
Yes.
So text START, START to 741-741. Again, that's START,
Yep.
START, to 741-741. If you're struggling with your thoughts, if you're struggling or contemplating
Good.
things of that nature, text them. START 741-741.
One step.
All right. So you can come out of the darkness, and we are here
That's
to
it.
help.
That's it.
All right. Now, I'm going to go to this real quick. But before I do this, Della, you have an initiative that's coming up that you have going on right now.
The 50-50 initiative.
How
Yeah.
can people give to the 50-50 initiative? Where can they go to get more information?
You can actually go to my Facebook page, which is youcanlive.com. Just go and search out You Can Live, and live is spelled LYVE, and you will see all of the general information about 50-50. What it is, this initiative is 50 people partnering with us to donate amount of $50 to basically what I say, save 100 lives. I was a dialysis patient for 11 years before I got transplanted, but the beginning phases and that starting process of dialysis is not only overwhelming, not only frightening. And if I just would have had we trying to bless these patients with is what I call the self-care tote bag. Because this self-care tote bag contains the resources and information that basically not only bring about comfort, will also bring about that positivity and change for them, to let them know that even though they're going through this process, they're not alone. And that's what we want to do. We're going around in 4 different locations in the city of Chicago, a total of 100 patients that we're blessing with these self-care tote bags. So
That's
please
real good.
go to my Facebook, youcanlive.com, or you can go to my website, which is www.youcanlive, again, LYVE. And remember, LIVE stands for living your life victorious and empowered. To help me to help others to be able to know that they can live.
They can live. It's you, Pastor Sabrina. You have any initiatives coming up?
I do. What I am doing, what I have done, my children's ministry is not in a building. I used to be a children's ministry in the building. And when I say that, people are like, what does that mean? I didn't want to be in the building. God called me out of the 4 walls because I wanted to be able to reach the needs. And so I know that we can't do it alone. What I do know about Chicago is that we're so political and we're so stationary.
Yeah.
And so what I've been able to do is pull other children's ministry leaders and say, hey, we need to do this together.
Yeah,
You
that's
might
good.
be in the building, but I'm not. I'm free. Let's do it together. And so we are doing a children's ministry. I have children and youth, but we're starting with the children and youth ministry. We're going to have a 7 nights where we just do workshops, because what I have known for a long time in the African American community, we do not invest in training up our leaders as much as our other brothers and sisters. And so this is absolutely free. They grace me to give the teaching, their wisdom on volunteering, how to work in the community. We're going to have all those topics. And so you can go to my Facebook page, Change CYM. You can go to the website, changecym.org. We're on Instagram. You can follow me on Sabrina L. Williams page as well. I have a lot of information on there as well. Because I do online ministry. That's what I do now. For life. My life.
For life.
But I do online.
Major. Thank you.
Yes, follow her. And so I help people get online and get their stuff out there. But Change Ministries, help us with that. Help us get the word to other pastors. What I'm trying to make them see is I don't care what nomination you are. It's all about just making sure those lives that we are committed to in children's ministry are affected and they know their purpose after they find salvation. All right.
I love that. I just want to thank you, Della Major, the game changer, and Sabrina L. Williams for joining me tonight on Soulful Stimulation here on IntellectualRadio.com and the iHeartRadio podcast. So be sure you guys to follow them, go to their websites, and make sure you're following them on all social media platforms. And this is your final thought. You are not alone in this life. Know that you are able to slay whatever giants may come your way. God knows your name and he has created you for greater, so greater is in store. No matter what it looks like right now, embrace your journey, flaws and all. I am Markia Janae. I am perfectly imperfect, but authentically me, and I can't wait to see you become authentically you. Be sure to join us next week right here on IntellectualRadio.com for more Soulful Stimulation. And follow me on all social media platforms. I am Markia Janae. Until next time, be
Now I
blessed.
know who I am. What you get is what you see. It's joy. It keeps me strengthened every day of my life. He's watching over me. Take nothing for granted. New life, my health, and breath.